Did you know that over £500 million in unclaimed pension benefits goes to waste every year in the UK? Or that thousands of seniors get scammed daily, even though banks are legally required to protect them? And here's the kicker. Many people are unknowingly breaking the law just by going about their daily lives. Let me ask you this. Would you be fined for feeding pigeons in your own garden? Could you get arrested for not updating your will? Are you losing out on thousands of pounds in benefits without even knowing it? You'd be surprised how many seniors are completely unaware of recent UK laws that directly impact their pensions, healthcare, inheritance, and even their freedom. But here's the good news. By the time you finish this video, you'll be 10 steps ahead of the system. You'll learn about the biggest legal updates that could save you money, protect your rights, and keep you out of trouble. Some of these laws could change your life. Others might just shock you. So stick around, because missing even one of these laws could cost you big time. Number 1. The Pension Reform Act 2025. Let's talk about money, specifically your pension. The UK government has made major changes to pension rules in 2025, and if you're not paying attention, you could lose out on thousands of pounds. Here's what's happening. First, the state pension age is increasing again. If you are planning to retire soon, you might have to wait longer than expected. The government is phasing in delays, meaning some people will need to work extra years before they can claim their pension. This has left thousands frustrated, especially those who are counting down the days to retirement. Second, pension credits, the lifeline for many low-income retirees, have new eligibility rules. Some people who previously qualified might no longer receive them, while others could suddenly become eligible. Confused? You're not alone. That's why it's crucial to check your status immediately. And here's where it gets even more serious. New tax rules could mean a bigger cut of your pension goes to the government. If your pension savings exceed a certain threshold, you might be taxed more than ever before. The government says it's about fairness, but for seniors who have worked hard all their lives, it feels more like a financial penalty. But there's a way to stay ahead. If you're unsure about your pension rights in 2025, now is the time to speak to a financial advisor or check your state pension forecast online. You might discover hidden benefits you never knew you qualified for. The bottom line? Your retirement income is at stake, and these changes are happening whether you're ready or not. The sooner you understand the new rules, the better you can protect your money and your future. And trust me, you don't want to be caught off guard when it's too late. Number 2. The NHS Priority Access Policy. Here's something that might shock you. Every year, thousands of seniors pay for medical treatments that they should be getting for free. Yes, you heard that right. Many people have no idea that the NHS has rolled out new benefits for seniors. And if you don't know about them, you could be missing out big time. Let's start with prescriptions. If you're over 60, you probably already know that you get free prescriptions. But did you know that in 2025, the list of fully covered medications has expanded? That means some costly drugs that weren't previously covered are now completely free. But here's the problem. Your GP won't always tell you this. If you don't ask, you might end up paying unnecessarily. And it doesn't stop there. Dental treatments are another major expense that many seniors struggle with. But now, new NHS policies are expanding free dental coverage for seniors in certain income brackets. If you qualify, you could get free checkups, cleanings, and even some treatments without paying a penny. And here's a big one. Priority GP appointments. If you're over 65, you may now be entitled to faster access to your GP, skipping the long wait times that have frustrated so many. But this isn't automatic. You need to register for priority access. If you don't, you could be stuck waiting weeks for an appointment when you could have gotten in much sooner. Bottom line, the NHS has introduced incredible perks for seniors, but they won't chase you down to tell you about them. You have to know your rights, ask the right questions, and make sure you're getting every benefit you're entitled to. And now, let me ask you, have you ever had to wait too long for a GP appointment or paid for a prescription that should have been free? Drop a comment below and let me know your experience. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button because the next law could save you from getting scammed, literally. Number 3. Digital Banking and Fraud Protection Act. Imagine this. You wake up, check your bank balance, and suddenly hundreds, maybe even thousands of pounds are missing. You don't remember spending it. You didn't authorize any payments. It's just gone. Now, here's the part most people don't realize. Banks are legally required to protect you from fraud. But in 2025, new rules take this even further. Scammers are getting smarter. They're using AI-generated voices to impersonate your relatives. They're hacking online banking systems with alarming success rates. And worst of all, they're targeting seniors more than any other group. Why? Because they know that many older adults still prefer phone banking, trust traditional communication methods, and might not be as quick to recognize a scam. That's why the UK government is cracking down. Under the new Digital Banking and Fraud Protection Act, banks are now required to reimburse fraud victims faster, even if they were tricked into transferring money. No more waiting months for investigations. If fraud is detected, banks must act immediately or face serious penalties themselves. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Banks now must provide free fraud protection services to senior customers. This means you can request real-time fraud alerts, AI-powered scam detection, and even human fraud specialists assigned to your account, all at no extra cost. Most people don't know this, and many banks won't offer it unless you ask. And the best part? If a bank fails to protect you properly, they're legally obligated to pay you compensation. So if you're still using simple passwords, answering random phone calls, or clicking suspicious emails, it's time to change the way you bank. Because in 2025, staying safe isn't just a choice, it's the law. Number 4. Inheritance tax changes. Let's talk about something that most people avoid thinking about. What happens to your money, your home, and everything you've worked for after you're gone? Inheritance tax has always been a controversial topic, but in 2025, big changes are shaking up the system. If you don't understand these new rules, your family could end up paying thousands in unnecessary taxes. Here's what's different. The government has increased the inheritance tax threshold, meaning more of your estate can be passed on tax-free. Previously, if your assets exceeded £325,000, your heirs would have to pay 40% tax on anything above that. But now, that threshold has been raised, giving families a little more breathing room. And here's where it gets interesting. Certain exemptions have expanded. If you're passing your home to direct descendants, like children or grandchildren, you could qualify for an even higher tax-free allowance. That means a bigger portion of your estate stays with your family instead of going to the government. But don't celebrate just yet. If your will isn't up to date, you could still end up overpaying. The new laws have introduced tighter regulations on how assets are distributed. If your will doesn't clearly outline where your money and property should go, the government could take a bigger cut than necessary. And here's the real shocker. Digital assets are now taxable. That means any cryptocurrency, online investment accounts, or even digital businesses you own will now be included in inheritance tax calculations. Many people haven't accounted for this, meaning their families could face unexpected tax bills after they're gone. The bottom line? Estate planning isn't just for the wealthy, it's for anyone who wants to protect their family's financial future. If you haven't reviewed your will or inheritance plans in the last year, now is the time. Because when it comes to taxes, what you don't know can cost you. Number 5. Tenants' Rights Update. Renting as a senior in the UK has never been easy. High rents, unfair evictions, and landlords who refuse to make necessary repairs. It's a reality many older tenants have faced for years. But here's the good news. 2025 brings major legal changes that could finally give renters over 60 the protection they deserve. One of the biggest updates: stronger eviction laws. For too long, landlords have been able to use no-fault evictions, meaning they could kick tenants out without a valid reason. But this year, new rules make it much harder for landlords to evict tenants unfairly. If you've been renting in the same place for a long time, your landlord must now provide a legally justifiable reason before they can remove you. And what about repairs and maintenance? Under the new laws, landlords are now legally required to make their properties more accessible and senior-friendly. That means if you need a handrail installed, improved lighting, or even ramps for mobility reasons, your landlord must accommodate reasonable requests. If they refuse, you now have more legal power to take action. But here's where it gets even more interesting. For the first time, the UK government is introducing senior housing support programs aimed at helping older renters find affordable, stable homes. These initiatives will provide rent caps, financial aid, and legal assistance for seniors who are struggling with increasing housing costs. If you've ever worried about being priced out of your home, this could be a game changer. And for those who rely on housing benefits, there's another major shift. The eligibility criteria have expanded, meaning more seniors than ever before now qualify for extra financial help with rent. But as always, there's a catch. You have to apply for it. Many people will miss out simply because they don't know they're eligible. So, if you're renting, here's what you need to do. Check your tenancy agreement, know your rights, and find out if you qualify for these new benefits. Because in 2025, senior renters finally have more legal protection. But only if they use it. Number 6. Age-friendly workplace law. Imagine this. You've worked for decades, built up experience, and still have plenty to offer. But suddenly, you start getting fewer shifts, overlooked for promotions, or even subtly pushed out of your job. Sound familiar? Well, that's about to change. For years, older workers in the UK have faced age discrimination in the workplace. Employers have been able to sideline, underpay, or even force out workers over 60, making it harder for them to stay financially independent. But in 2025, a new law is changing the game. The age-friendly workplace law now makes it illegal for employers to discriminate based on age when hiring, promoting, or setting salaries. That means no more being passed over for promotions just because you're over 60. No more being pushed into early retirement against your will. No more lower wages just because of your age. And here's the best part. Employers now have to prove that they are treating older employees fairly. If a company is caught unfairly dismissing, underpaying, or discriminating against seniors, they could face heavy fines and legal action. But it doesn't stop there. Companies are now being incentivized to actively hire and retain older workers. Businesses that create senior-friendly work environments, offer flexible hours, or provide training for older employees can receive government-backed benefits and funding. This means more companies will be looking to hire experienced seniors instead of pushing them out. And if you're looking for a new job, this law makes it easier to find fair employment. Job applications can no longer ask for your age up front, meaning you'll be judged on your skills and experience, not your birth year. So if you've been feeling like the workplace is pushing you aside, 2025 is the year to stand your ground. Know your rights, challenge unfair treatment, and don't let anyone tell you that you're too old to work. Because now the law is on your side. Number 7. Free public transport for over 60s. Public transport is getting more expensive every year, and for many seniors, it's one of the biggest monthly costs. But what if I told you that thousands of older adults are paying for buses and trains when they don't actually have to? That's right. In 2025, new rules have expanded free travel benefits for seniors. The problem? Most people don't even know they qualify. Let's break it down. If you live in England, Scotland, Wales, or Northern Ireland, you might already be familiar with free bus passes for those over 60 or state pension age. But in 2025, more councils are offering extended travel perks, including free or heavily discounted train and tram travel. The catch? The rules vary depending on where you live. For example, in London, people over 60 can already apply for a Freedom Pass, which provides free travel across buses, trains, and even the tube. But in some other areas, eligibility depends on your local council's budget. That means some seniors get full benefits, while others miss out, just because of their postcode. And here's something most people don't realize. You have to apply for these benefits yourself. They won't automatically arrive in the post. Many seniors are still paying full price for public transport simply because they never filled out the necessary forms. But there's more. In 2025, some regions are experimenting with free off-peak travel for seniors. That means if you travel outside of rush hours, you could qualify for completely free rides, even if you didn't qualify before. Some councils are also offering companion passes, meaning your spouse or caregiver could travel for free with you. So here's what you need to do. Check your local council's website today and see what transport benefits are available for seniors in your area. Because if you're still paying full price to get around town, there's a good chance you're missing out on free travel. Number 8. Power of attorney simplification. Let's talk about something that too many people put off until it's too late. Power of attorney. Right now, if something unexpected happens, an illness, an accident, or even just age-related memory loss, who will make financial and medical decisions on your behalf? If you don't have power of attorney, POA, set up, your family might not have the legal right to help you. That means banks could freeze your accounts, even if your spouse or children need to access them to pay bills. Doctors might not take your family's wishes into account when making medical decisions for you. The government could step in, making decisions about your assets, health, and even your living situation. But here's the good news. In 2025, the UK has simplified the power of attorney process, making it easier, faster, and cheaper to set up. Previously, setting up a lasting power of attorney, LPA, was complicated, expensive, and took months to process. Now, the system has been streamlined, allowing people to apply online and get approved in a fraction of the time. You can now digitally register your LPA, meaning there's less paperwork, fewer delays, and instant access to legal proof when needed. And here's something most people don't realize. You don't need to be wealthy to have power of attorney. This isn't just for people with huge estates or complex finances. Even if you just have a bank account, a home, or any assets in your name, setting up POA ensures that someone you trust can manage your affairs if you ever need them to. But here's the catch. You have to set it up while you're still mentally capable. If you wait too long and lose mental capacity, your family will have to go through a lengthy and expensive court process just to gain the right to help you. So don't put this off. Check the new online system, set up your power of attorney now, and make sure your future is in the hands of someone you trust. Number 9. Digital Will and Online Asset Protection Act. Think about this. If something happened to you tomorrow, what would happen to your online accounts, digital money, and personal files? Most people assume their loved ones will just gain access automatically. But that's not how it works. In fact, thousands of online accounts, including banking apps, investments, and even social media profiles, are locked away forever when someone passes away, because no legal process existed to manage digital assets. But in 2025, the UK government is finally addressing this gap with the Digital Will and Online Asset Protection Act. For the first time ever, your online presence and digital finances will be legally recognized as part of your estate. That means your family can legally access your digital bank accounts, PayPal, and cryptocurrency wallets instead of losing them to strict platform policies. Your online businesses, websites, and even digital copyrights, like ebooks or online courses, can be passed down to heirs without legal battles. You can now include social media accounts, emails, and cloud storage in your will, giving your family the ability to manage or close them after you're gone. And here's the part most people aren't prepared for. Many online platforms delete or freeze accounts after long periods of inactivity. If your family doesn't have the right legal access, they might never recover important documents, sentimental photos, or even valuable assets. So what's changed? The new digital will process lets you legally name beneficiaries for all your online assets, just like you would for your house or savings. You can now specify who gets control of your emails, investment accounts, and even streaming subscriptions. But this isn't automatic. You have to take action. If you don't create a digital will, platforms like Google, Apple, and PayPal can still refuse access to your family, even if you have a traditional will in place. So, if you have anything valuable stored online, whether it's money, files, or memories, it's time to protect it. Set up a digital will today, before your online assets disappear forever. Number 10. Antisocial behavior law. Imagine this. It's late at night, you're trying to sleep, but your neighbors are blasting music like it's a nightclub. Or maybe it's the middle of the day, and you're dealing with constant shouting, reckless behavior, or even vandalism right outside your home. For years, seniors have struggled with disruptive neighbors and antisocial behavior, with little to no support from authorities. But in 2025, that's changing. The UK government has introduced stricter fines and penalties for antisocial behavior, making it easier than ever to take action against noisy, disruptive, or inconsiderate individuals in your community. Here's what's new. Harsher fines for excessive noise complaints, meaning if your neighbor keeps disturbing you, they could be hit with a fine of up to £1,000. Faster action on repeat offenders. If someone has a history of causing disturbances, local councils and police can intervene much sooner instead of waiting for months of complaints. New public nuisance laws, which means if someone is playing loud music, setting off fireworks at odd hours, or loitering in an intimidating way, authorities can now issue on-the-spot penalties. And here's the big one. Landlords are now legally responsible for dealing with tenants who cause trouble. If a tenant in a rental property repeatedly causes disturbances, their landlord must take action or face legal consequences themselves. That means fewer cases of problem tenants making life miserable for their neighbors. But what if your council isn't acting fast enough on your complaints? Under the new law, local authorities are required to respond to persistent antisocial behavior complaints within a set time frame. If they fail to take action, you can escalate the case, forcing them to step in. So if you've ever felt powerless dealing with noisy neighbors, reckless teens, or public disturbances, you now have stronger rights than ever before. And the best part? The law is finally on your side. And there you have it, 10 UK laws that could change your life in 2025. Which one surprised you the most? Drop a comment below. I read every single one. We put a ton of effort into bringing you these important updates, so if you found this video helpful, hit that subscribe button. It's just one click, and it really helps us keep going. And before you go, don't miss our previous video on hidden senior benefits. You might be leaving free money on the table without even realizing it.